If you're new, welcome to my channel. If you're not, welcome back.
I'm going to the gym so I don't get fat.
Okay, fat phobia.
Fat phobia? I'm just afraid of gaining weight.
You're scared of becoming fat.
Yeah.
That's literally fat phobic.
How miserable do you have to be to want to drag everyone down with you? Why on earth shouldn't they be allowed to go to the gym? What's wrong with people going to the gym? It's amazing for your health. It's great for your body. And guess what? Carrying around 300 pounds, it's not good for your knees. It's not good for any of your joints. It's just all horrible. It doesn't mean they hate you just because they don't want to become fat. I don't want to be wheelchair bound. Doesn't mean I hate people in wheelchairs. I just don't want that for myself. I don't want to be blind. I don't hate blind people. There is a difference. You have to understand that.
Today I started a diet because this shit. Woo!
So I've seen a little bit of discussion around this video, and I've mostly seen people feeling bad for Quenlin because she clearly has some disordered thought patterns. But I honestly don't get it. Like, I don't feel bad for these people anymore. I just find it really upsetting that people tend to empathize with thin people who are clearly deathly afraid of becoming fat or having any feature that fat bodies have, rather than empathizing with fat people who naturally have rolls without contorting their body in a weird way, and thinking about how it might affect their psyche to see someone literally gag on the internet at the thought of resembling them.
Maybe if you'd taken just 2 seconds to care about someone other than yourself, you would have realized that the people who have Anna struggle as much with body image as those who are morbidly obese. Because they have a mental issues in their head. They will literally starve themselves to death because there's something not quite right in their head. They need help. They don't need you telling them that they are being fat phobic. They need help, actual help.
But these sprinkles are the best.
Don't believe in fat phobia? Just imagine what the comment section would look like on that video if that person was fat.
Because it's an addiction. When you see morbidly obese people bragging about food or watching them eat junk food, it's the same as watching someone killing themselves. You don't want to see it. You don't want them to do it. It's just depressing, really. And people aren't very positive to it because it's quite depressing to watch people kill themselves purposefully. And yeah, I guess it's not purposefully because it is a mental illness when you have binge eating disorder. But still, it's still purposefully just as much as Anna. People who have Anna starve themselves purposefully. And it's quite depressing to watch both.
If you're overweight, like, just work out. But my sister brought up a really mind-blowing point. When you're being fat phobic, you're also being a little bit classist. Have you heard of this argument?
I have not heard of that.
When you're somebody who has less money, it's a lot easier to be overweight.
To buy a whole meal at a grocery store is a lot more expensive. But if you go like to say a McDonald's, they have like $1
Or Little Caesars.
yeah, you could get pizza for $10 to feed your whole family. And like groceries, that would come out to what, like $30-$40 or $50 depending on how big your family is.
To even have time to work out is also a privilege. A lot of people who are like lower income, they're working to get by, bro. They're working long hours, long shifts. They're not gonna have time to even work out. Like, obviously they're gonna be overweight.
Or like they're too tired to cook, so they're just buy a piece of pizza.
It's not necessarily anybody's fault, right? It's not necessarily an ugly thing because people can't help but be overweight.
This annoys me so much. All these excuses, because they're just that excuses. You can't tell me that you can't find food in the store for $10. Because you can find. You can make a pizza, you can make many pizzas for $10. But you have to make a lot and freeze it down. It's not about money. And all the time, even when I have 3 kids who cry half of the day, I still have time for both walks and making food for the kids and myself and everything else. It's about time management, nothing more. And honestly, it doesn't cost money to exercise. You can if you have a bike, then you go for a bike ride. If you don't have a bike, go for a walk. I have to go for 3 walks a day for about a half an hour each day with the dog each time, which is 1.5 hours next to all others. And I still manage to make it work. It's just excuses. And I hear so many excuses. And it's so annoying because they're so bad. I was biking to kindergarten the other day, and I had all 3 of my kids on the bike, 2 on the bike stroller, and 1 on the back of my bike. And I was biking, and our kindergarten is on the top of one mountain, and I live on the other mountain. So I had to bike down the mountain and up to the kindergarten, where the kindergarten is. Right? And I came there tired and exhausted and sweaty. And I had to listen to my morbidly obese friend complaining about the fact that they live too far away from school, so they had to drive to school when they live a 10-minute walk from school. It's just excuses after excuses, and they don't hear it themselves how silly those excuses are. If I can bike from one mountain to another, and I'm not very fit, then she can walk for 10 minutes. It's laziness, but the laziness comes from the food addiction, because you don't feel great after eating tons of unhealthy food. I know it myself. I feel like crap when I eat a lot of unhealthy food. It's not good for you, and I understand it, but it's excuses, and the only way to change it is for them to realize that it's excuses and nothing more, so that they can actually try to fix it. Because the only ones who can fix it is the people who have the problems.
If you are losing weight because you want to feel better, be in less pain, be healthier, all of these things, that's fatphobic, okay?
I hate listening to this, not because I'm offended by it or anything, but because I'm sad for this person. Because you have to be very miserable to be angry at anyone else for trying to improve themselves. And exercising and losing weight, in 99% of the time, it will improve your life. If you have Anna, it won't. But for the rest of us, it will improve your health drastically. I don't think you understand until you've actually lost the weight. I don't think you understand how amazing it feels on the body to lose weight. I can just say from being pregnant, the difference in my knees, the difference in what I could do, it was drastically. And when I was pregnant and I didn't have a dog, I ended up getting very lazy because I puked for 9 months in each of my pregnancies. It's very fun. So I ended up in bed a lot. Because of all the puking, I got exhausted and I had no reason to get out of bed. And my health just went down the drain. I had to be pulled out of from the toilet every time I went to the toilet because I couldn't stand up because it got so bad. And walking was horrible. My legs filled with water to the point where I had to use men's-sized shoes to even walk. And I thought that this was because I was pregnant. It was normal pregnancy symptom. But then I got a dog because my husband just surprised me with a dog without asking when I was on vacation. Fun. And we got a dog. And I started walking. And at that point, I was 7-8 months pregnant. And right a week before I gave birth, I was walking up mountains. The water was almost gone. My pain was gone. I was a different person. And the rest of my pregnancies, even though I puked for 9 months in all of my pregnancies, I had no issues. There was no pain in my back. There was no pain anywhere. There was no water. There was nothing. I was perfectly healthy because I was out walking 3 times a day. And that tells you how much it matters to be out moving, to be in good health. It will change your body completely. It will change your health. Just do some small walks. And this is why I find it incredibly sad when I see these TikToks where they're saying that you're fatphobic if you want to lose weight. Exercising, being fit does amazingly thing to your body. And I can say I'm not fit. I have an autoimmune disease, which makes it very hard for me to do any heavy exercising because my body doesn't take up calcium and magnesium. So when I run, sometimes if I'm low, my legs would just give up underneath me, which is very annoying. It's like they got paralyzed for a second. And also, if I exercise too hard, I will get double vision. And it's really annoying. I do still exercise, but it's very annoying. So I can't do some heavy exercise because my calcium and magnesium is at this point and has always been below the lowest human should have. And it lays below it on the highest, which is not good. Which is not good. But eh, still, even though it makes it harder to exercise, it has never stopped me. I still played sports. I still exercised. I did struggle. I did fall a lot. I did struggle to see the ball sometimes because I couldn't see. But I still exercise because even though it holds me back, it's not an excuse not to exercise. And even if it were, I would never tell others not to exercise because it would be problematic towards me. No, just because I can't do something doesn't mean that no one else should. And just because I don't want to do something doesn't mean nobody else should. It's horrible, and I hope these people learn to love themselves enough to not want to drag others down with them.
Shut up, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Directly linked to evidence that can prove that we live in a westernized society that is based in fat phobia.
No matter how much society will tell a gay man that he's straight, it will not change the gay man, okay? And the same thing goes for people who like a certain type of thing. The people who like morbidly obese people will not change because society tells them that it's wrong. That's not how it works. I'm sorry, but people who don't like you because they don't find you attractive, not because society told them not to find you attractive. You're not their type. But that's fine, because there's still a lot of people who will be your type.
Why we have these preferences, when they're not actually preferences, they're just anti-fat bias.
Accept that some people won't like you and move on. There's a billion of people in this world. You will find someone who likes you. But you can't go and tell people who don't find you attractive to find you attractive. That's not how the world works. And it just makes you come off as unlikable.
It is a real term that applies to a system of oppression.
Stop, please stop. Just think about what you're saying for just 1 second. It's just insane. Can you imagine if anyone else said that about anything else? It's not a problem if you don't want to date someone in a wheelchair. It's just, you don't want that. It's not a problem if you don't want to date someone who's blind. It's not a problem if you don't want to date someone who has blonde hair. You can date whoever you want, and you can't sit there and tell people who they have to date. Accept that people date whoever they want to date. Okay, this is the last one.
Being plus size is a choice. 3, 2, 1, go.
How come, out of all of the people who were there, only one person actually realized that maybe it was their own choice to be fat? And I'm not saying it like it's an easy thing to lose weight. It's not. It's really hard. And most people fail at losing weight, but it's not because losing weight doesn't work. It's because the things they're trying doesn't work. Because everybody's trying to lose all their weight in a short amount of time. And that doesn't work. It never will, because you're starving yourself in a way that makes you so hungry and so exhausted, and you just binge eat on every crappy food you can find. But that doesn't mean that losing weight doesn't work, but you have to actually have a slight calorie deficiency. Not just eating 800 calories a day or just eating 100 calories a day. Of course, you're gonna fail at losing weight if you starve yourself like that. You have to just have a small calorie deficit, not a huge one. And preferably you should have a calorie deficit on proper food, because eating just a bag of chips is just gonna make you miserable for the rest of your day. But if you eat proper food that just fill up your stomach, you won't feel so miserable while being on a diet. It's not supposed to feel like a diet, because it's supposed to be a lifestyle change, because you're supposed to never go out of it. That's how you actually lose weight and keep it off, by changing your eating habit and actually eating well, proper. Nourish your body, as everybody keeps bragging about, but actually nourishing your body with proper food, with a lot of nutrients that it's great for your body, instead of just feeding your body crap and say that you're nourishing your body. Or feeding your body crap and then saying that it's genetic that I'm fat. It's not genetic. You might have been a fat kid, but that's not genetic. That means your parents fed you horrible food. And it's sad. And it's harder for someone who was a big child to thin to end up normal weight, to end up or in a healthy weight. To end up in a healthy weight. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means you have to learn something that you were never taught. What foods are actually good for you. And to avoid junk food at all costs. Junk food is fine, like once a month. But other than that, it should be avoided. There's no reason to eat it. If there's one thing I can get through to anyone out there who's listening and care, please, for the love of God, learn to discipline yourself, your body. Imagine your body and your brain as a child. You can't let them get everything they want because they don't always know what they want. And if you're hungry, you will go for the quickest calories to feed your brain, but that doesn't mean that that's good for you. So please, try to do better and try to discipline your brain, your body. You deserve it. You deserve to be happy.